Let's kick things off. We are submitting our motivation for the Evolutionaries Award, and I'd love to know a little bit more about MSM. So could you give me an introduction for someone who doesn't know about MSM in 30 to 60 seconds, what it is that we should know?
Essentially, we're an asset manager and private equity firm that is specialized in property investments. And we've been around for a decade, where we've got institutional and private wealth clients, and we've also had a unit trust. But more importantly, we've now just really created an app in order for us to democratize investing, specifically in listed property investments. And the whole impetus of this is that we want to democratize investing and also be able to give everyone else, 80 to 90% of the South African population, easy access for them to be able to invest at a very low entry point of 300 rands per month minimum, and also actually educate themselves about listed property and just property in general.
Brilliant, thank you. And what was the problem that you faced which inspired MSM?
The biggest thing was the fact that, after 2008, the financial crisis, what was quite evident was that the gap between the rich and the poor occurred. One of the things that helped it grow was the fact that the wealthy or the rich had access to listed investments, whilst everyone else didn't have access to listed investments. So in certain in certain times and periods, what you'd see is listed space. You'd see a growth of 25 or 20% compound growth going on for 4 years in a straight row, on average, as opposed to everyone else whom, if they don't have access to listed investments, your salary doesn't grow by 25% per annum compound for 4 or 5 straight years in a row on average. So that gap really just widened up. So that was really the basis for me, is the fact that I want other people, 80 to 90%, to also have the power that a listed environment has. And also I wanted to use an asset class that is quite easily understandable, something that's not complicated, that everyone interacts with, and is very tangible for the ordinary person in the street.
No, brilliant. And when we say democratizing access to wealth, that's the solution. What does that actually look like?
So essentially, you have professionals who look after wealthy individuals and big institutional funds, right? What we have now done is those same professionals are now looking after your 300 rands per month debit order that you're basically investing through our app. And that's what essentially democratization is. On top of that, you don't need to go to the city or go to a specific venue in order for you to be able to access that. All you have is your phone, you download it, and then you now have the same access as other professionals.
Perfect. And can you tell me a little bit more about the app, the milestones so far, and where we can find it?
Yeah, I mean, in an industry that is... the South African financial services industry, especially in the investing space, is quite large. I mean, they manage in excess of about around 10 trillion rands. It was quite surprising to find that there are very few asset managers who also have apps for individuals to basically access and be able to invest. So that's one thing that we found difficult, is the fact that we're one of the first people to actually have an easy app, and we're definitely the first in terms of the listed property space, where then we created it, and we've been updating it and adding different features to it. So in the typical space, you still have to fill in forms. And then in order for you to deposit and take money out, here you essentially just download an app, and the app, you can find it on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, Android, and then you'll be able to then deposit, take money out, withdrawals, and also have educational material. And that's really also one of the big things that we wanted to do, was to demystify investing, because of the fact that there's a lot of financial illiteracy in our country. So by doing this, you're able to make it a whole lot more accessible for people, and for them to be able to understand what's going on, especially in property.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you. And what's next? What does the future look like?
So the future is bringing in more data. We've already started on some of it. We use the app in order to be able to recruit our investors in order to take them on property tours. But most importantly, it's really, we're going to be doubling down on the education. So the education element will be where we introduce our clients to other asset classes, and also we'll add in every now and then an ability for them to be able to trade for themselves once they actually understand. But more importantly, it's all about first us managing their money, because we're the professionals, we're there, we're looking after their money, and then and educating them, which is very, very important, and then adding on all the other extras. And then as well, yes, the current product is offshore, but we would like to have a dedicated offshore element to the app itself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
And best of luck.
Thank you.